Hello everyone and welcome to a new Dungeon Defenders 2 video. As you can see, I'm currently just farming for some tokens, and I decided to maybe it is time to show you my current Countess build. And the thing that I really like about the Countess, as you're about to see, my artillery cannons deal about 2 million. As I get close, 23. When I pop the buff, 40 million deeps. That is honestly so huge in my opinion, and it doesn't even take you a long or a lot of an how should I say this? It doesn't take a very expensive build to be useful as a Countess for Chaos 9 difficulty. If you don't have the gear to solo it or to, you know, carry people, she is good just to jump in and help people out. Honestly, her buff is so much better than I thought it would be. So honestly, let's quickly go over my build. And currently, I'm gonna have to probably do some editing because I don't have the perfect builds yet. But I do have a way. So my helmet, as you can see, currently has a dodge, robust, and steel skin. This is currently what I have been using. Now, if you don't like the dodge chip, you can replace it with tenacity or where do I have it? Over here. Damage buff. I think a damage buff chip, if you want to do more damage, you can use it instead of the dodge. Now, as you can see, my boots don't even have the correct mods yet. I still have them over here that I still have to add the robust and steel skins to my gear. So let's just focus on my armor currently and basically copy paste this entire setup across your entire 4 armor sets. However, the only thing I still need is to find a hero damage secondary for my helmet, because I think that I want to go more damage oriented with my current setup so that I can deal some more damage. But currently, as you can see, I have 3 million health, and I'm basically just running the weapon, which, as you can see, is nothing special. I just like the skin, so I upped it to a legendary. I'm using, for my weapon, light weapon. The reason light is so that you can attack and send your furies out faster. Of course, less damage. However, heavy weapons attack slower, but deal slightly more damage. I think that the damage is minimal compared to the attack speed that you get. And I'm using Focus Power Chip, Radiant Heat, and Frostfire Remnant. The reason I have this setup is because I just basically copied what Barbarian Gaming did on her video. I think she is a Japanese DD2 player, so I will be watching some of her videos in the future. But if I remember correctly, this was her build setup. The Frostfire Remnant is so that you have an easier time dealing with the random mobs. The Radiant Heat is good that whenever you take damage, you deal damage back, because this is a tank slash paladin build. And the Focus Power, just, you know, whenever you're out there and you just want to deal some more damage. Now, all of my gear, of course, I personally went with attack power or hero damage. Now, if you don't want the hero damage, you can go with hero health. This is personally up to you. I went with the more damage because I think she is tanky enough. But if you think you want her to be a pure tank, go with hero health, as well as swap the dodge chip for a different mod. I think robust and steel skin are a must. Tenacity, or as I said, damage buff might be a better alternative. Now, if you have like where do I have it? Okay, I guess a swap damage chip if you want to do the whole swapping. Now, I don't, because I have her mainly just as a tank. But you can use the counter chips. They're, as you can see, basically on okay, they're actually double the swap damage chips. Oh, but this is also C3, so it's not accurate how much it gives you. But yeah, I think they are with the counter chip and with the swap damage. Okay, swap damage is 7, 9, yeah, it's basically the same. So it's up to you if you want to do that. Also, I am using a snakeskin armor with a dodge and robust. Again, if you don't like dodge chip, go with a tenacity or a different mod. I started playing around with dodge because I guess I can get like a 40% chance of dodging once I completely max out this gear, and 40% chance to dodge an attack, in my opinion, is quite huge, especially if you're building a paladin slash tank build. Now for the shards, on my helmet I went channel for extra mana so that you can be inside your buff longer. Worm scarf, take less damage. Brain of confusion, you can change this. I have it just so that whenever I'm attacked, there's a chance the enemy stops attacking me. The other one is Fury Restoration. If you want to gain more mana whenever you crit with your Fury. Fury is, of course, this ranged Phoenix attack of yours. So that is up to you. If you are gonna be frontlining and you want to keep your buff up longer, or even if you're fighting a boss fight, then definitely for bosses, swap Brain of Confusion for the Fury Restoration so that you can have your buff up longer, help your team do even more damage. Gloves, I have the crit strike, crit empowerment. This will obviously give you more crit. Crit is obviously gonna pair well with the Fury Restoration. And inspired shout, the most important, if not second most important build in the setup. Sorry, shard. So her buff will give 20% more damage and armor. So we have tested, and this works on defenses as well. So on top of the Ascension's 20%, you would get, what is that, 40? Yeah, so you get 40% increase plus whatever the base is on the ability itself. Which I think it's 40% because if I did my math correctly, I buff my defenses by 80% damage. Then on my chest, I have Tank Gambit, Bulwark, and Heavy Armor. Yes, it slows me down heavily. Yes, I deal less damage, but goddamn am I tanky. And on my boots, here you can choose, I think Radiant Crit Power is a must-have, just so that you buff your nearby defenses, because this is the current build that I'm using. Just buff nearby defenses and you can AFK. Regeneration, you heal more, and Bunny Hop as my movement. Now, I like double jumping, that's why I want Bunny Hop. Otherwise, you could alternatively also use the, what is it called? Speed boost. Just a regular speed boost, get 700 more movement speed if you have it gilded. And for my weapon, I'm currently using Tamer's Gambit so that, you know, my pets can deal a little bit more damage, which a little bit is 253% more damage. However, I also deal 28% less damage. I have Radiant Power to increase nearby defenses even more, and then Burning Strikes because I can. You know, I just deal more damage, and I can also deal with Drakenlords whenever I'm playing on my Countess. And for her shield, I have Unholy Fire, which whenever you block, you do this flame attack. And it's pretty nice because it scales with the amount of armor that you have. And the Flame Cloak, after I use my Valiant Charge, I get a flame around me, which makes me take 21% less damage, and I burn my attackers for 2000% of my armor. So, oh, ring, right. I went with a Ring of Regen, just so I can regen more HP. I think there are others that you can use. I personally went with the regeneration. So, might as well skip to wave 6, so I can show you that she is quite tanky. Okay, now we have reached wave 6. I have decided to also quickly go over my artillery cannons, in case you just wonder how they're built. I'm gonna quickly go over the current just relics and the shards that I have, so that you, if you want to do so, you can you know, copy or note what I'm actually doing. now. Of course, all the shards are maxed and whatnot, and that's basically the build that I'm running. And Reflect Beam is just like a random C9 relic, just so it has some HP. But yeah. Okay, stuff is buffed. As you can see, my tier 5 artillery cannons are right now 38 million. So let's go wave 6. Buff them up with to 64. That's basically an 100% increase in damage, isn't it? So yeah. You want to tap 3, 1, and 4. Disable 2. And where is the apprentice? Don't tell me we killed him too fast. I can't even... but yeah, basically the current build... if you want to deal a lot of damage, that's how you do it. You want to get all your abilities on cooldown, and she will deal a neat amount of damage. But if you just want to tank stuff, you just want to press 4 to get the shield and hold right click to get the flames up and going, and then you can just like walk towards the enemy and deal a relative nice amount of damage. It's honestly nothing special, nothing game breaking. As you can see, I'm seeing like 3 million damage and some 2 million magic damage. So honestly, the damage is not going to be super spectacular with the shield, but it will make sure that you will not die. Now, of course, from my testing, the only times I did manage to die with this build is, of course, when going against the Chaos 9's Wildest West Apprentice and Huntress that show up on those two lanes. So the Apprentice spawns from that lane, Huntress from this lane, and that is the only times I died, when I didn't have my shield up and I didn't have my 4 up, and I died in like 2 or 3 hits, so it's still better than 1 hit. And yeah, so that'll be for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will give this quote-unquote Paladin build a shot. The build for it might change, so feel free to look down into descriptions where I have. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in a later video.